Um, what have you been working on, Dan? What kind
Well,
of things have you been
a
working on
brief,
lately?
yeah, brief history. I've not been developing as long as you, and I started about 10 years ago when Swift was introduced. Actually, I guess that's 12 years ago now because Swift came out in 2014, and that's when I got on the development train, if you will. I started learning software development because of Swift. I'd always been curious about it. I had a dabble with Linux many years ago that I had a Linux box in my house, a separate computer that I just had Linux installed on. FreeBSD is what I installed, but I didn't know where to go with it. And I didn't really find my footing until Swift came out. And then when SwiftUI was introduced, I jumped right on that. And then in 2023, I started developing for the backend using Vapor, sort of Swift on the server. So that's my history. And the current event is two main apps that I focus on: a social network app that is called the Midst that uses location-based, like a map-based posting for the social network. And then I'm working on an app for my wife where she is a very avid runner and has difficulty finding teams to join for these relay races that she does. Because she'll have a 12-person relay and she can fill 8 or 10 slots, but is usually ending up a person or two short. So I'm working on an app called Relay Team Finder that helps match runners to teams and
Now,
vice
are either of
versa.
these live right now in the store?
The Midst is live on the store. Relay Team Finder is not, but my wife is running a relay in August in Minnesota, and I set a personal deadline to have that app out and
All
live
right.
by the time she does that relay, so that she can advertise it to her teammates, of course, using my wife as marketing and for obviously testing too, live testing, if you will. So.
Right. Okay. Well, that sounds like it makes sense. You're hooking up people so you got people that want to be on a team, like people that are race that want to be in a race, but they don't have a team to be on. So they're looking for a team. And then sometimes you've got a team that's probably short people. They're looking for runner, racer, whatever you call them, runners, racers. What do you call them?
Runners, racers, depending on how fast you run, you're either just running or you're racing. But I think at her speed and quite frankly my speed, I'm not racing. I'm just trying to finish. So
Potential finishers, we'll call them.
yeah. But I will finish the app.
Aspiring
I
finishers.
aspiring, yes, yeah. But I will finish the app. It's one that definitely has there's a little bit of a market out there. Marketing is a whole nother aspect, of course, that I'm not well versed in, but we should talk about using AI for marketing purposes at some point in our discussion, because that is an angle that I'm considering using.
That definitely makes sense. I don't know if we have time for that today, but let's see. The other thing we did recently, so yeah, Dan and I have been getting together for really, I don't know, a bunch of years, like you said, just kind of off and on, meeting up for coffee, talking about nerd things and programming and fixing problems and helping each other out. And it's been good. And recently we went to Deep Dish Swift 2026 in Chicago. And that was fun. That was fun. I will say I haven't been to a conference since before COVID of any sort. I think I went to the last uh, Swift by Midwest in Chicago. That was like the final one. And I went to I think that was the last in person WWDC, before COVID and everything changed the world. So hopefully I am not, a bad omen and and this Deep Dish Swift will continue on after this one.
No, I never even thought of that. No,
Yeah,
certainly
I
not.
hope. I was kind of concerned about that. I don't want that.
Yeah.
But it was. I was talking. We were both from the Minneapolis area, and we drove to this conference. And I was talking to Dan a little bit on the way back that I really feel like this conference had a really good balance of talks. I've been to sometimes where there's like, they're all technical and nothing else, and other ones that are so non-technical. You're like, oh, come on. This I think had a really good balance. There were some that went pretty deep technically, which were cool, and there were some that were more about, if you want to be an indie developer and just experiences in that area, and you know recommendations and things to try and things that helped other people. You know, besides all that, is we also met a lot of really cool people. At least I met a lot of cool people. Dan probably knew them already.